My mother-in-law insisted on bathing my baby every single night. At exactly midnight. At first, I thought she was just being helpful. I didn't know she was hiding something. So one night, I hid a camera in the room. And what I saw, I will never forget. When I gave birth to my son, my mother-in-law came to stay with us to help take care of the baby. At first, everything was normal. She cooked, cleaned, and helped carry the baby so I could rest. I was actually very grateful for her help. But after a few days, I started noticing something strange. Every night, exactly at midnight, she would come into our room quietly, carry my baby, and say she wanted to bathe him. Every night. Midnight. Not 11 p.m. Not 1 a.m. Midnight. I asked her why she couldn't bathe him in the morning or evening. She just smiled and said, "Midnight water is good for children. It makes them strong." I didn't understand what that meant, but I didn't want to argue. So I let it continue. But then I started noticing something else. Every morning after the midnight bath, my baby would sleep for a very long time. He would be unusually quiet and weak. Sometimes I would even touch his chest to make sure he was still breathing. I told my husband I didn't like the midnight baths. But he just laughed and said, "My mother raised 6 children. She knows what she's doing." But deep down, I wasn't comfortable. Something didn't feel right. So one night, I decided to find out the truth. Before going to bed, I hid my phone behind some folded clothes on the shelf and turned on the camera to record the room. Then I pretended to sleep. Around midnight, like always, she came in quietly, picked up the baby, and left the room. I waited for a few minutes, then I got up, took my phone, and started watching the recording. At first, everything looked normal. But then, I noticed something that made my heart start beating very fast. She didn't go to the bathroom. She went to the sitting room. In the video, I saw her place my baby on the center table. Then she brought out a small bowl, some water, and a cloth that looked like something was wrapped inside it. She sat down beside my baby and started whispering words I could not hear clearly. Then she dipped her fingers into the water and touched my baby's forehead, chest, and feet. I was shaking while watching the video. Then she opened the cloth and brought out something small. It was a bracelet made of black and red beads. She tied the bracelet on my baby's hand. After that, she finally carried the baby to the bathroom, turned on the tap for a few minutes, and then brought him back to the room like nothing happened. That was when I realized. She was never bathing the baby at midnight. She was doing something else. The next morning, I checked my baby's hand and saw the bracelet. I immediately removed it. When my mother-in-law saw that the bracelet was gone, she looked at me in a very strange way and asked, "Where is the bracelet?" I told her I removed it because I didn't like it on my baby. She didn't argue. She didn't shout. She just looked at me for a few seconds and said nothing. But from that day, she never bathed the baby at midnight again. 2 days later, she told my husband she wanted to go back to her house. Before she left, she carried my baby, looked at me, and said something I will never forget. She said, "I was only trying to protect him. Not everyone that smiles at you loves you." Up till today, I still don't know what she meant. I still don't know if she was really protecting my child, or if I stopped something I was never supposed to see. If you were in my position, what would you have done? Was she protecting the baby? Or was she hiding something? Tell me what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysterious and chilling stories. I'll see you in the next story.